For more on Home Depot, we are joined right now on the phone by JPMorgan analyst Chris Horvers. He has an outperform rating on the stock. Chris is one of the most accurate Home Depot forecasters according to Bloomberg data. Chris, glad to have you with us. Home Depot not breaking down the big ticket items as Lowe's did yesterday. What do you make of that?
You know, I think given the fact that HD and Lowe's have about 50% of the home improvement market share here in the U.S., for Home Depot to see the comp improvement only down 1%, your best comp in over 3 years, there had to be some big ticket rebound. We're not off to the races where people are tearing down the walls in their kitchen again, but at the margin, people are starting to invest in their homes again now that home prices are flat and there's a little more stability in the world compared to a year ago.
Chris, this is Erik here. You are you're a bull, you'd have to say, on Home Depot. You've got a $31 target on the stock price, although it's getting very near to that. Does the better than expected result we saw from this company today change your view, which is to say make it that much more optimistic going forward?
Yeah, I like this Home Depot. I also like Lowe's as well going here into 2010. My price target tends to be earnings driven, and based on today's result, you would think that there'd be upside to earnings as we proceed through 2010 and they start generating positive U.S. same-store sales, a trend we haven't seen since really the fourth quarter of 2005. People have put off spending on their homes. It's a durable product. You can only do that for so long. My wife's going to, have me paint my bedroom because we haven't done it in 5 years, and you're going to see that type behavior replicate throughout the United States now that home prices stabilize and existing home sales are moving higher.
But Chris, can I put you on the spot for a moment and ask you to do some back-of-the-envelope math? Tell us where you think you might have to reset the price target looking 12 months ahead.
Well, I think the right lens to look at it is to think about earnings power, which is to say, if we get a couple years here of positive, call it mid-single-digit existing home sales, which are highly correlated to their comps, what could this company earn? We think it can get back to an 11% EBIT margin in a 2 to 3 year time frame from they ended at about 7%, 8% this year, and that would imply about $3 of earnings power before buyback, and given the duopoly nature of the sector, you would think that over time this should be over a $40 stock at mid-cycle.
Chris, this is Scarlet Fu. Home Depot saying fourth quarter sales driven in part by international sales. Now, both Home Depot and Lowe's have stores in Canada, but Home Depot also has stores in China and Mexico. How big of a growth opportunity do those markets represent for HD?
In terms of this biggest exposure, you're right. Canada's the largest, followed by Mexico, followed by China. They're the #1 in home improvement retailer in both Canada and Mexico. From a growth opportunity, it's certainly China. I think the management now wants to make sure we're getting the U.S. right. They're spending a lot of time in the U.S., and I would envision in about 2 years them pivoting, Home Depot pivoting, and starting to think about being more aggressive with growth in China.
Chris, we thank you so much. Chris Horvers joining us there from JPMorgan Securities on Home Depot.